Hello, friends, and welcome back to Organizing with Ease. I'm your host, Deanna Mall. And this month, we're starting a brand new series called Flow this fall. Last month, we focused on change, creating it, adapting to it, and learning how to move through it in our homes and in our lives. And you did it. Give yourself a pat on the back, or maybe actually celebrate with an extra cup of coffee. You made it through all that September brought. Now, in October, it's time to sustain those changes and find your flow as we step into what many of us call, quote unquote, the busy season. And let's be honest, October has its own personality, wouldn't you think? I think so. Some people are all about the Halloween, all about those costumes, the candy bowls, the skeletons in the yard, those like 26 feet in the air, big ones. Others love the cozy fall vibe, pumpkin candles, plaid blankets, soup on the stove, maybe even in the crock pot. And then there are the folks who just skip right over both and straight into holiday mode. So, whether that's Christmas or Hanukkah or any other tradition that makes your home sparkle. In fact, I have to share this story with you because it actually made me laugh so hard. A client of mine told me about a friend of hers who already has her Christmas tree up. That was in September. But here's the kicker. She keeps the blinds closed so nobody knows it yet. So can you imagine she's sitting inside with the glow of the twinkle lights while outside here in the 305 it's still 90 degrees out? And I guess she's just enjoying it. But here's my question for you. Where do you fall on this spectrum? Are you team Halloween? Are you team cozy fall? Or are you team straight to the holidays? And guess what? There's actually no wrong answer. In this first episode of Flow This Fall series, we're going to explore how to find your seasonal flow, one that feels joyful and not overwhelming. I'm going to share some stories from clients, a few surprising stats, and of course, a challenge for you this week. So let's dive right in. Let's start with the basics. Why do we even decorate? On the surface, it's about the pumpkins, the cobwebs, or those twinkle lights, right? But at its core, decorating is about ritual. It signals to our families and to ourselves that the season has shifted. It creates memories and it also sparks joy. There's actually science behind this. Studies show that decorating boosts dopamine and the feel of the good hormone. That's why lighting a fall scented candle or putting up a wreath instantly makes us smile. And it's not just about the looks, it's about how our home feels. The National Retail Federation found that 70% of Americans decorate for at least one fall holiday. So that tells us this is more than just the surface level, right? It's cultural, it's emotional, and it really matters. But here's the thing. Decorating can tip into clutter very, very quickly. One of my favorite quotes comes from Barbara Humfield. Clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. I've seen this in action. So many homes with bins stacked high, Halloween, fall, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Easter, summer decor, and everything else in between. And often half of it hasn't even been touched in years. So this is the real question. The real question becomes what's worth keeping? What can you let go of so decorating stays joyful and not stressful? So one of my clients had 4 full bins just for fall and Halloween. When we opened them, she looked at me and she says, "You know what? This totally stresses me out more than it excites me to get ready to get my house decorated." So I had to ask her, "What really matters to you and your family?" Her kids immediately said, "The candy bowl, the lights outside." And that was it. Out of the 4 bins, that's what was all that mattered to them. So she pared it down. She kept the fall wreath for the door, 1 bin for Halloween items, and of course, her favorite cozy blanket on the sofa. Everything else was donated. Later, she told me she felt lighter and calmer, and for the first time, she actually enjoyed the season instead of dreading it. On the other end of the spectrum, I worked with a client whose kids were grown and out of the house, but she still went all out for Halloween. The cobwebs, the glowing pumpkins, orange lights, the wreaths on the door, everywhere, everything you can possibly imagine. And when I asked her why she kept doing it, she said, because it makes me feel like a kid again. And that's the point. For some, seasonal decorating is about nostalgia. For others, it's about joy in the present moment. And for some, it's about creating new traditions for their families. So the takeaway in this is your seasonal flow doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Not your neighbors, not your best friends, not even my own. The only right way is the one that feels right for you. Okay, so how do you actually find your seasonal flow this October? Well, here's some 5 simple steps I want to share with you. And this is what I share with my clients as well. So let us start with, why don't we just pick a theme? Is this month about Halloween, or is it about cozy fall, Thanksgiving? Or maybe you're leaning into the holidays early, Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever tradition looks like for you. Don't try to do them all, just pick one and lean into it. So here we're going to choose 3 touch points. We're going to focus on 3 spaces where seasonal decor makes the biggest impact. The entryway, the kitchen counter, the living room are the most obvious ones, right? But I think about also the guest room if you're planning to host, or even in if you have a formal living room, or even in your dining room. And also maybe why don't you just think about your own bedroom? If you want to, spice it up a little bit. No pun intended. Those little touches in personal spaces can bring just as much joy. So, also, you want to keep it to like 5 to 10 of your favorites, right? Instead of those multi bins, try to keep them more to like 5 to 10 seasonal items total. These should be the things that you truly love. All right. I actually am going to go through mine as well again because I did it last year, but I'm going to do it again. But it's okay to keep doing it and doing a seasonal check every year. If you've got a garage full of your stuff, take the time to assess it now and be honest. Is it worth storing for another year? Or is it time to let it go? Then you want to decorate with intention. Ask yourself, does this piece make me smile? Do I like it? Do I like to even look at it all the time? Does it just make me feel like it's just one more chore to put up and then have to take down again? Then we want to edit before you add. If a pumpkin comes out, make a regular decor piece go back into the cabinet. That way your space feels balanced and not crowded. So for me, I do have wreaths on my door. I have 2 wreaths. I'm going to be changing them out because my daughters asked me if I can have Halloween wreaths put back up. Well, they don't know this, but I actually got away last year with my old Halloween because it was time to go. They were really looking not too good. They held out for the season of October last year, and so now, because the girls asked me about this year for October, looks like I'm going to be going to the store to buy some fresh Halloween wreaths. But that's okay though, because I've emptied out my Halloween bins to a certain degree, so therefore I do have room for new ones. Here's my challenge to you this week. Choose one seasonal touch that sparks joy. Light a candle. Put up a wreath. I'm going to be doing that. Fill a candy bowl. I actually do that as well, and I actually have it on by my front door. Or or even if you wanted to, if you want to put up a Christmas tree, if that makes you happy, the key is intention and not pressure. Here's the bigger picture. Why does this actually even matter? The Journal of Environmental Psychology published research showing that people who create rituals, even small ones like lighting up a candle or decorating for a holiday, report higher levels of calm and connection in their homes. And did you know that people who decorate early, yes, even in September, often report feeling happier? That's because it extends the season of joy. How about that? And so here's your permission slip. If you're waiting for it, I'm giving it to you, okay? So, if decorating brings you happiness, do it. If it overwhelms you, then keep it minimal. And if you don't care at all, just skip it. There is no one right way. The only right way is the one that works for you. So here's a quick recap before we close. October is that in between season where some people love Halloween, some love fall coziness, and some skip right straight to what? Yeah, Christmas, Hanukkah, and or whatever holidays that you celebrate. And decorating is about joy and ritual, and it's not about pressure. You don't have to do it all. Pick up your theme, choose the 3 touch points, and keep it light and simple. And your challenge for this week is choose one seasonal touch that's going to spark joy for you. And I am going to be looking at getting new Halloween wreaths for the door. So stay tuned for that one follow up. And if you hear any like jingle jangles in the background, that's my little guy Eddie, because as we do some recordings, he just loves to be part of it. Friends, thank you so much for joining me in this first of our October series, Flow this fall. I love to know if you are Team Halloween, Team Fall, or Team Straight to the Holidays. I'd love for you to share on my Instagram at D's Declutter. I'll be running a poll in the stories this week so we can all see where everyone lands. Your challenge this week is simple. Choose one seasonal touch that sparks joy. That's it. Keep it intentional, keep it light, and let it make you smile. And to make it even more fun, I've created a special October challenge calendar just for you. It's filled with simple, doable actions to help you stay on track this season. Just download it, post it somewhere visible in your home, and check off each step as you go. Have fun with it because small actions lead to big momentums. And I'm going to actually have that shared in the show notes. Next week's episode, we're going to dive into the non negotiables that keep you grounded. October tends to busy fast. I don't know about you, but my October looks already full. And I'll help you define your 3 anchors, the non negotiables that keep you steady, no matter how full your schedule gets. Until then, enjoy the season, enjoy the moment, and remember, little by little, step by step, you can create a home and life you love. Until next week, my friend.